Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne today with my trusty co-host kaika87 from Malaysia. Hi Kaika.
Hi.
Today's match will be the Carcassonne Champions League Qualification 1 Group E final between Steven Chang from Taiwan and FanaticalLime from the UK. If I get my shortcuts in order, we'll check out the bracket. So Steven was able to beat Michaels and Loishi. Both rather close matches, even though I think he was the better player in both of them. FanaticalLime had a rather easy match versus Nopasaki in the first round, and then rather closely fought one versus Sunny from Hong Kong. Now we're here. The winner will move on to the Champions League stage, and the loser will get a second chance in the consolidated final against either Michaels or Loishi. So a rematch would only be possible for Steven, as the folks from FanaticalLime's bracket are eliminated from this tournament. So quickly, as Kaika pointed out to me a few minutes ago, Steven Chang with an ELO of 666. We'll see if this is any indication for today. I would consider him the favorite. How about you, Kaika?
Yeah, I would say Steven is most probably the favorite, but I feel that Fanatical can definitely stage an upset here.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean, it's Carcassonne, and Fanatical has the chops and skills to play a good game. So we'll see. Steven is online. Let's check. Have they created a tournament? Doesn't look like it. So they might just be playing a regular game with slow time. Let's see. Yeah. So they are friends now. Interesting. I think a lot of folks are sending friend requests when they have to play matches against each other. I frankly don't see the need, but if you want, well, go for it. So they should be starting any minute or second now. But still nothing created here. Still nothing. Okay, then let's check Steven's rating evolution again. I always like this here, this graph. It's just great. That's what happens when you start a lot of turn-based games and run out of time in looks like 20, 30, 40 of them and lose all these matches, consecutive matches. But of course, he was able to get back to the 700 threshold. He's a strong master, and no problem there. FanaticalLime, on the other hand, I think not 700 rated, right? Might be. Still
Very
not
barely.
started.
Yeah. Very barely. Almost hitting the 700 points.
Oh, you have already checked?
I'm just looking at it's not 700 for sure.
Yeah, the graph is misleading sometimes.
Oh.
That's the problem, because it, at least from what I gathered over all these months checking rating evolutions of dozens of people, it only gets updated once per day. So if you hit the 700s but then drop below it, within a day, it might not necessarily be picked up in the graph. So this here could very well have been a spike of 720 maybe, and then you just lose 2-3 consecutive games, drop to 690 again, and the 720 just doesn't show. One example.
So I guess like what you do is this: if you reach a 700, then you don't play anything for the next 24 hours for it to stick.
Exactly. If you want this to be visible in the graph, you should, for example, this here is MTUs, and he quite prominently had a spike of 860 2 weeks ago, roughly. And this year doesn't look like 860. It's more like 845 maybe. It's not even 850. So I'm not sure at which time of the day this gets calculated or the rating gets saved, but I'm pretty sure it's once per day and maybe twice even, but definitely not once you hit the max. So
I see.
is
They have not started yet.
still not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Not too
They
sure, but
are.
both players are online.
Oh, friendly mode is wrong. Let's see. I think they should change this. Because we like the time pressure actually.
No, FanaticalLime has to be the one to create this because Steven is not a premium member on BGA.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I think they have started.
Yeah.
Yeah, started.
And it's where's this time setting? Slow speed. So maximum of 251. And here we go. Both wishing good luck and have fun. That's very kind of them. Let's see if they mean it.
Well, I do know of some players who leave the good luck part out and just stick with the have fun.
I don't know anyone who would do that. I mean, that's I don't get it. Why wouldn't you wish your opponent good luck? I mean, come on. I mean, if you mean it, okay, but if it's just a blurb, yeah.
Fanatical is taking a very long time with his first move.
But
not too
at slow speed, it isn't really a problem. He should be able. Ooh, what's up here? Damn it! Looks like I have a serious problem here. Let's see. No errors. Well, we'll see if this works or not.
We have a double monastery here from Steven. Fanatical going for a rather standard opening, facing the road tile upwards.
Okay, so looks like Fanatical had the rather typical BGA bug of late. The interface not updating, which is annoying, especially in cases like yesterday's stream of Otto, where the interface clearly showed one of the players having a horse in hand, and once he placed the tile, it was then a rose and not a horse, because the two moves in between was not happening on Otto's screen, at least, but quite likely for the players, because they played these pieces in between as they normally would. Yeah, I think the curve here is totally fine. I mean, what else would you do? Not pointing this downwards. Why? So totally okay. I like this by Steven. There's really no reason not to place this next to your monasteries. Yes, this here could be restricted, could be killed even, and sure, Fanatical goes for it. But in the end, in the beginning, all tiles you need to save this are still in the deck, and at least 3 of them. Okay, 1 rose gone, so maybe only 2. This here, though, I might have still gone for the limitation and hope for a road to Rito.
He gets it as well, the Rodorito next turn.
Yeah.
So it would have worked out extremely well for him.
Yeah, now he needs one of the daggers, and average waiting time when there are still 3 in the deck should be around 7 or 8 moves. In the cases you get one, that is. Okay, now it's a dagger fight, as Steven needs the right-handed one to close the city and give the monasteries chance of completion, while the lime needs the left-handed one to kill this square. So basically it's a 50-50, not necessarily for the game, as even with a killed square here, due to these monasteries, plus the city in the end scoring maybe 19 points. Yeah,
I was about to say that, the odds of blue getting the block should be higher, given that there's only 3 daggers compared to the daggers for blue, and also the triple city for the horse tile for blue, right? So
yeah, horse and Doritos as well. So basically it never was a 50-50, and I'm just talking shit here. So we had 4 Doritos, 3 horses, so basically 10 tiles for blue to kill this. But still, it's not the end of the world. Again, yellow will score quite likely 16 points for these monasteries in the end.
I don't like that T-junction move, because you are basically limiting your own ruin, whereas like there
Exactly.
is another 2-point road you can take if you don't want to get back your road at the bottom. So that's also a
Yeah, or over
possibility.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is problematic due to your city next to it, but yeah, it caps or severely limits the possibility to extend this ruin to outscore at least yellows on the left side. So I would expect yellow to kill this, or at least limit it by, I don't know, doing something next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for now, even hopes to close this city before blue does.
Yeah.
Oh man, worst case would have been a curve like this.
Yes.
Okay, a lot of curves are already gone, so it wasn't very likely. But
I think you're still losing the mini battle over there, though.
yeah, and he's lose lucky. Oh, why is this off? Yeah. That's a problem when you use the same browser for shooting videos and live streams. I always have to switch the settings here and then forget to turn them back. Yeah, losing the mini battle, and blue was lucky to draw the crossroad before yellow could push this road meeple into the killed square as well. Yeah, so we are at 4-2 dead meeples, which definitely is in blue's interest and favor, but they are down 17, and yellow more or less has 3 meeples to play the game here. We are already in the second half. And
Another
this
stuck in a
here
hole there.
is another dead meeple, as all 3 horses are already gone. So blue only has the 1 meeple advantage for now, and is still 15 points down, and 1 meeple, even if you can use him, I don't know, maybe 3-4 times. 4 times is a bit much. I don't think it's worth the difference that's on the scoreboard now. And there aren't even features for blue to take here. For example, this field up top, which would be really nice if there were any cities on it. There aren't, but we still have splitters in the deck, so blue's chance here definitely would be, or should be, creating a field somewhere for them to take, as they are the side with more meeples in hand.
I think I would have maybe even not placed the road Dorito if I was blue, given that it was just 1 tile away from a block with any Dorito or Triple City. But blue was pretty quick in placing that tile, so I'm not too sure whether he thought about the possibility of his city there getting blocked.
Yeah, I think he mostly saw the possibility of yellow closing their city and then further limiting this here. But with still 2 starting tiles out there, the only reasonable block was the limitation to the cow. So something like this here. And yeah, you're right. It was more or less instantly. I think in situations like this, you should at least consider the implications, and there were still caps out there to close the city immediately, so could have waited, opted not to, and paid the price. But it's not over. And yellow city here isn't safe either. For now, there are 3 caps left to close it, and only the 1 curve to limit it to a 50-50, so not really that problematic. But road Doritos would also be a 50-50 limitation, even though blue might add them on their city or ruin, although the ruin isn't technically theirs. They still need an extender. But just due to this monastery alone, blue is still in the game. At least takes away 1 cap, so no dagger fitting there anymore. But
it was better actually, right, to limit it to a dagger tile compared to a rose or a starting tile.
yeah, but there was only the 1 curve left, so
yeah, true.
If you don't get the curve, at least take away 1 chance. Why not? It's still a 75%, but that's better than dumping it somewhere else, but blue already had this here, right? Yeah, the curve was already in place. Then I don't see why he didn't add the straight there just to get this monastery meeple back ASAP. Would have been the move I would have preferred over this one here, for sure. And here we go, there's the curve.
The starting tile which blue placed at the bottom provided somewhat like an indirect defense. So
Yeah.
I think if that was not there, then he might have actually considered maybe using a triple city if he gets it or something along those lines. Or maybe just limit it to a dagger tile with a fill site.
Yeah, with
something like that.
vanilla, for example.
Yeah. And still able to extend his own city that way.
Yeah.
So yellow here is actually building a threat on the city to the right because there's still the vertical splitter. So he can
Two
still
even.
actually complete that city. Yeah. Yeah, two. Yeah. So he can still complete that city.
Yeah. And blue has to do something about it and does now,
Yes.
will attack it.
There is still a splitter though. Another splitter, the other type of splitter. Two more of the
two splitters available even. So highly interesting feature on the right.
Yeah. But I think as Steven, you don't need to risk it.
Risk what exactly?
Just aiming to get both splitters.
Okay. I think I would go for it.
You go for it.
Yeah, I would go for it. The problem is even if you split up top, and there is still the bottom root, but there is only one cow left.
Yeah, I was thinking that if let's say yellow was to go for it, then he would have put the road Dorito to close the city. And now with the splitter, he can split it out and just hope to get the other splitter, the vertical splitter.
Yeah. Yeah, but in a case when there are still 3 connection pieces versus 2 splitters, and there's also the one extender here, and you still don't know whether you will have a chance to close a city or just lose a big ruin to your opponent. This here makes some sense. Also, yeah, I get your idea was this here, and that's of course totally fine. Just betting your game on getting both splitter varieties before blue gets one of these connections. But I also get this one, and I think it's okay.
I was thinking actually maybe like I don't think yellow should actually even attempt to complete that city, which is why I was okay with him just putting it at the bottom left, the road Dorito.
Why not attempt to close this?
Because blue can still invade, and it's a shielded road Dorito, so you're giving away another 2 points.
Yeah. Okay, but I still would have considered this splitter. Just due to the threat of possibly being able to close this. This here works. Especially nice is the indirect setup of this city, as blue already needs the Dorito there. It's more or less a setup for yellow to take this city. But he gets it too early. And might just add it here, pointing to the right. Yeah. So blue will connect, or will they take the city? No, they connect. That's was the higher scoring move at 7 points. Upside at the bottom might have been slightly higher, slightly better EV. Yeah, and the extender is gone, so no connection for blue's ruin into the city, which technically is still alive, even though rather unlikely to be completed. And now it's definitely dead, as yellow and blue drew twin caps.
Ooh, as fanatical as blue, do you aim to... Actually, no, it's too risky, right? I was thinking maybe he needs to go...
Like this?
Not that, actually. I was thinking to just invade the rune on the right, hoping to get the last kowtow. Or do you just go safe and take 4 points?
I'm 6 points down. I have the meeple majority. I take 4 points.
4 points.
There, this, by the way, it was the last tile to complete. Yellow city at the bottom, so just take the 4 points, create a 6-point field, take it on your next move, maybe. There are still quick point tiles out there. He should be the favorite to win this one.
Sense. It makes sense.
But it, of course, depends who will draw the caps here. Especially the splitter will be interesting. This here would be rather reckless, but I see why someone would go for it. Okay, yellow restricts options to take this field from the top. Blue gets another cap and is now at +2. Yeah, yellow still has 2 moves left, and now this here is the question. They are down. Do you go for this one and hope that your opponent draws the monastery so you could take this here? Doesn't he goes for this?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, go.
I was thinking maybe it could work out if, let's say, he goes for the but yeah, never mind. I was thinking maybe it could have worked out if he goes for the, like what you have mentioned at the bottom left. You go for the splitter move and then just hope to get the other city cap.
Yeah, the good thing about going here would have been that blue with both monastery and horse more or less would have been forced to go there as well and prevent yellow from taking the city on their next move. So basically you would have forced blue into a very suboptimal move. Cow would have been 6 points somewhere, monastery, as we've witnessed, 7. And if these pieces were reversed, blue would have scored the same 6 points, but yellow would have gotten these 2 plus the ruin points, so 6, 11, 13 more. Still not enough, right?
Yeah. I was considering the bottom left move because yellow was the starting player. Yellow is the starting player as well, which fanatical, if he has to react in a suboptimal manner, might not be able to maximize his last 2 meeples.
Yeah. Exactly. That was the point about this move. And looks to me like this could have been an interesting route for yellow. And I think this one here just doesn't work. I mean, he's at -14, and if my math was sound, even the connection here would have only added 13 points, while blue's score wouldn't have changed, or they just take the same 13 points here. But is it sound 6-11? Yeah, 13 points more for yellow if they connect, and then still -1. So,
Regardless, Steven gave a very good fight here, despite being 3 meeples. I mean, 2 meeples down early.
Yeah.
It was 3-1 stuck meeple.
Yeah, well, it's what we would expect from a master, and now he isn't rated 666 anymore. So maybe we'll get back to playing normal.
Like, is that the way for anyone playing Carcassonne to be the master? Try to get ahead in meeples by making your meeples stuck within the first, 15 moves, 20 moves?
I think it's definitely a good heuristic.
Yeah.
Going for a meeple majority should, in most cases, be an advantage. The question is only what's the opportunity cost of going after your opponent's meeples. I mean, if you lose too many points in the beginning and, for example, just use monasteries for blocking instead of trying to score with them, even 1-2 meeples advantage might not be enough in the end. And then, of course, it matters how many points the blocked feature scores. So if you are able, for example, to block this one here, that's highly profitable. But if you're able to block 2 stacked monasteries, well, it score 16 points nonetheless in the end, which totally fine. Here we go. So this is pretty ugly for Fanatical. He needs either a dagger or extender. And even if he gets an extender, this stair here is usually annoying, especially when your opponent could restrict your city into a road end. So you can't really go for this, well, because then this obstruction is quite likely to happen. And if you go for this option, there's always the chance of re-attack. In this case, not as problematic. If this were to happen, because you already have the 2 meeples on the city. So he deliberates whether to place the monastery here, quite likely. The problem in that case would be Rotoritos, which you'd like to use there to close the city, but would then kill your city on the right. And therefore, he just plays a waiting move, which without these cities under consideration is totally fine. Bit iffy square here, but if it works out for you, you just draw the next monastery and it all looks great.
I mean, like, all things considered, though, that whole setup at the bottom, it's actually not too bad. Because there isn't really I mean, you can't, well,
there is an easy full block available like this, of course.
yeah, but you cannot necessarily, you're not necessarily going to get both of them blocked, right? So is this most probably just one of it is going to be blocked?
That would be the most probable outcome.
And one of them will be interrupted badly, most probably.
Yeah. But the problem is this here would be bad enough losing a meeple for 1 point, and the other one is again not that easy to be completed. So another waiting move by blue, but it gives yellow the chance to severely restrict this one here to 2 remaining daggers. One is on the board, the other 2 are left-handed ones, and kill this one. And with this field already an insurance farmer in place, it looks good for yellow here. But this city, of course, is still alive. In an ideal world, blue would get an extender, or of course,
getting the tiles,
defend
yes,
by getting at the perfect time the dagger. So now he has 2 options. So either extender or twin caps, or of course adding a Dorito from the bottom. And let's see if yellow goes for a monastery square, which I think they should, and just use worse tiles to do something about the city. It wouldn't be that problematic if yellow were to close the city. Yeah.
I mean, a horse tile will also be devastating for blue city.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
I think that's what you had in mind, right? I don't know. I mean, it's a shielded tile. Okay, you get the cap, you get 1 point for your monastery, but I still would have liked this one, because the one problem blue might not have accounted for is this here, or the reverse option, which is more unlikely for yellow to execute. And therefore, just taking away the option of the twin cap attack by yellow,
I think it's okay though. I mean, like, most probably what blue is waiting for is something which is better. Most likely the vertical splitter or the extender tile, and also the Dorito combination. Instead of going the other way around, Dorito first, and then waiting for the extender tiles.
Yeah, I get it. It's definitely safer to go for this, because this square here can't be blocked easily. You need 4 moves to kill it, whereas this option here can be killed with 2 moves. So, for example, something like this here would work.
So what does blue do? If you're being attacked in a city, you develop another city.
Exactly. If you can't defend well, then go on the hunt. Either extend another feature which you already own, claim something your opponent might like to, or try to play against your opponent's features. That's the balance of Carcassonne. So, interesting move for Steven here.
Ooh.
Could have gone for the limitation to the one and only remaining dagger.
Yeah.
He didn't. And blue drew the perfect piece, not just an extender, but one with a shield. And is now only a Dorito away from taking a nice, I don't know, dozen-point lead. Ooh. Another juicy monastery. And there is
Ooh,
the
another sugared one.
Dorito.
Yeah. Blue
So
even
should
took
be
out
up.
perhaps one of the better monastery spots for yellow with that monastery on the left.
Yeah, he had to. I mean, what else would you do?
Yep.
It's very easy to complete this one. And there's only one block available, the Road Monastery. In either place would kill the other one due to the first one already on the board. Yeah, yellow goes.
Blue, yeah. Blue taking away the easy cities for the farm.
Yeah, as they should.
Yep.
If your opponent goes for the farm, well, take their caps. It's better to take them away, even if this gets to be a ruin in the end, or to score 1 point, then leave them empty for them to score 7. And frankly, this here more or less was a must. Else blue would have taken this field, maybe even the combined field.
Would it be better just for yellow to actually no, maybe not, because I was considering maybe yellow should just separate the field just to preserve a 6. No, it's not even joined on the top yet. Okay, never mind. It's okay. Yeah, there's still 2 tiles.
Thought about something like this here?
Yeah, yeah. Or even from
I
the
don't.
right, so that you can interrupt the other city.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's necessary for now. There are 2 squares to be filled to unite these fields, and quite frankly, blue should have an incentive to connect this one to the main field just to take the 3 points away, and might later go here. But I mean, even if blue were to use 3 road pieces there, it wouldn't give them a lot of points, so why even go for this?
What do you think about blue's move attempting to invade the top city? Was it necessary? Do you think that it's necessary?
I don't think so. Frankly, they didn't take the cap, as this would have allowed a total kill of their city immediately. And I think that's the reason why they didn't go here. But with plus 14, I don't see it's absolutely necessary to claim this. So it was rather the defensive move, taking away this option from yellow, as the other one is more volatile. So it's way more likely to connect over here than there, due to the 2 field Doritos still in a deck.
But it did prompt out a reaction from Steven. And I think that may have justified that move entirely.
Yeah, and I think the reaction, I don't like it. You get the penultimate big city tile, so any city tile from here would limit this connection to a 50-50, and then you would have a second meeple in hand, which might be serving you better to score points somewhere else. But I mean, there are still 2 tiles to connect, and it could work out for them.
Or perhaps
again
just
with
take
this.
the 3-point roads just beneath the yellow meeple on the top on the middle city, and then try to interrupt the blue invasion.
Yeah, exactly. This looks like the better move. So then you could either restrict or attack this square. So something like this later on, maybe. And even if you then, I don't know, kill this, could still continue your side of the ruin. And also this here, supplying a road end to a 5-pointer. I don't like that one at all.
No. I think Steven might have overreacted there with that triple city move.
Yeah.
Or maybe he was just making, or maybe he was just giving himself opportunity to score, to sort of catch up. But
yeah, but it's not even a 50-50. I mean, your opponent is the one to go next, and they are the starting player, so they have a move more than you.
Then it is sort of working.
Gets tight and
goes for this, and he should go for it, I think. There's still road ends, so maybe not.
Yeah, there are still road ends. There's still this 3-pointer available, and at -14 it was before the road. It's tough. So he definitely needs to claim the road.
Gets it, yeah. But I like what Fanatical is doing as well. He's saying that you get the roads, I'm just going to build another monastery spot for myself.
Yep. Why not? Just let them take the field. If you score a few caps along the road and take the monasteries, it should work out in the end. So rather a typical imbalance, monasteries versus something else. But
what Fanatical, I think, should not be doing with this Dorito is to reinvade the city. Yeah.
There's no need to.
Yeah. Just dump it on his own city and it should be okay.
Yeah, exactly. But well, the problem, if you don't, then yellow will. So he could just prevent yellow's attack. There's nothing up top. There won't be anything here.
Oh, he goes for this. I mean, it's still okay. He can get back a monastery from the bottom.
It's not okay. It's not okay. He is at +10. He doesn't need this volatility. What he needs more is the meeple, just to score some points somewhere. For example, road like this, there are still 2 monasteries left. One here, one there. I mean, sure, he'd get a meeple back if he hits the monastery. And this here, for example, yes, it scores 3 points due to field unification, but it also leaves another road for yellow to take when there are still 2 road ends out there. So he'll win in the end by drawing the tiles needed, but this wasn't necessary at all.
Yeah.
Just add this here. The city is dead. There won't be anything happening over there. And then use this to score points. Even though from expected value standpoint, it was a good move, as you'd have a shot at the 50-50 shot at this one. It was more or less unblockable. I mean, there were blocking options like this here, but yellow
It's too
just
slow.
doesn't have the moves to spare to go for this. So straight up 50-50 at a lot of points. 16, 4, 5, 13, 17 even. But why? You are ahead. You only need to bring this game to the finish line. There is no need for volatility in this case.
I think his mentality might be along the lines of let's like maybe diversify our win conditions, but you could have played it safely and still have a decent shot at that point.
Yeah, I think there was only the one city cap left, the win caps, right? So no option for yellow to further boost their field. I mean, looks like yellow's only winning condition was scoring roads and then monasteries.
Or maybe like what you say, that yellow could have been the one invading the city, and that might have given yellow a chance to win.
Exactly. Yellow's chance was to invade the city. Therefore, you had to take away this one. I mean, except the city, of course.
You don't need to attempt to invade. You can just take away the attacking platform, and it should work as well.
Exactly. Okie dokie. So
fairly convincing win actually from Fanatical today.
Yeah. Overall, sound game. And this year, even though he played with the meeple down, but strong support by the deck here, drawing 5 monasteries versus yellow's field. And then, of course, there was this city here. Maybe even the dagger might just have been the key tile.
Yeah, we did know that Steven had a chance to interrupt that city, right? Because he gotten the Rodorito, but he didn't follow through on it. Yeah. I think that was a bigger threat than the one at the top. So was the one at the top a threat? Yeah, potentially, but both cities were like around 2 tiles away from closing, right? So he had to make a choice there.
Yeah, you are right. These weren't present, and he attacked over here. But due to this need to fill diagonal squares with one limitation already in place, I think the bottom one was the bigger threat. Because whenever you place something here or there would still be the option to attack or harass again, which isn't the case over here, or wasn't the case over here. And I mean, there were, I think, 5 tiles still left. Extender, twin caps, plus, I don't know, a bunch of Doritos. Yeah, I would have perceived this one to be the bigger threat. And it scored more, or would have scored more anyway, due to having more tiles and shields for that matter. So yeah, I quite likely would have gone for this. If the come on, let's switch to the analysis. It's easier. Let's, what is it? 60, 70 something, maybe? No, it's too early. Okay. So, one restriction, Fanatical doesn't get anything to do something about the city. And here we go. So in the case of this one and the limitation to dagger, it's even better than a 50-50, as blue needs something, preferably a city cap with the road there to protect. And there are only 3 such caps, except for the dagger in the deck. So it's rather unlikely with 35 tiles to draw one.
I mean, blue also has the rose, which they can use. But I think as yellow, they can just kill off blue city by just putting something there. Yeah.
There are, I mean, so many tiles to immediately kill the city.
Yeah.
All these would work.
Though you prefer, like, there are some very optimal tiles to kill off the city and some less optimal ones.
Sure, but a kill is a kill.
Yep.
Whereas this year again, it's not really a big threat. The dagger, especially if you go for the obstruction here, won't be used there. And then there are only 3 caps for this square. And you could very well then later attack this or restrict it again and block it with your next move. So I think this here was a misstep by Steven. And on the other hand, what do you want to accomplish with this cap here? I mean, if you neither threaten this, nor attack it, well, then the only option you have is a Dorito, still a splitter out there, or of course a cow. So 5 tiles. But your opponent also has 5 tiles to fill this square and leave you stranded on the right side, which happened in the game. Therefore, I don't get it. I think it's not following through on your idea. Although I don't know what Steven's idea was, but I think it's way more likely to kill the square than to be able to connect into the city, at least from the right side. It's, of course, different, or would have been different from the bottom. A route which he could have also taken with this dagger, by the way. But sure, that's the better move, just because you are able to do something like that. Yeah, so overall, looks to me like a crucial misstep, and this might have even been one of the deciding factors, I should say, because later on, with this monastery, for example, if this would have been drawn by yellow, it could have changed the game as well. Same goes for a bunch of other pieces later on. I mean, blue in the end got 5 monasteries and used all of them, I think, and profitably at that.
I think yellow also, I am not too sure whether it's a misplay, but that triple city just trying to invade the top rune, giving away 5 points with the road end, whereas he could have actually taken 3 points and then still attempt to interrupt the city from the center. So that would have been an 8-point shift, I think. 5 points from the road and 3 points from the road.
So this position you're talking about, these monasteries in the middle are still rather easy to be liberated, still 3 straights out there, so you should expect blue to get these 2 meeples back, but it still might take a few moves. So yeah, I mean, 14 down, but for now, a temporary meeple majority. So why not just take the immediate points, get a better chance to go there, to attack there, to block there, to do something.
And yellow even set up with a straight road over here, just to sort of interrupt from the top, right?
Yep, exactly. So if you do something there, if you get the chance to do something there, I mean, there are 4 pieces to immediately connect blue's meeple into the city, but 4 out of 23, again, 22 remaining plus the one in hand by blue are the tiles you need to consider. So 23, 4 out of 23, your chances are very, very good. Definitely good enough, 4 out of 23. I mean, that's, I don't know, 82% or something that blue doesn't get anything to connect. So why not go for it? I mean, give yourselves this chance. And even if blue hits it, it's devastating. You lose these 9 points. They even threaten to close this. But you might be able to attack again, or at least block it, or restrict it to a 50-50, maybe later kill it. And yeah, then you'd be down 20-ish points, but I still think in this situation, you'd have to play. You'd have to score.
Right?
Yeah,
you have to score.
Exactly, that's the problem. You have to play catch up. You have to score, and give yourselves chances to score big, which just a moment. The attack from yellow on the left is definitely a chance to score big. I mean, connect, kill the square, and bam, you score the 9 points or more even due to the connection. But this doesn't tie the game. And then you'd be, well, with tight meeples, although in the long run, blue would have the majority, again, due to the liberation of the monks there. So yeah. Plus this road, I mean, that's something you should go for, setting up volatile options like this. So basically 50-50 flips for 3, 4, 5 point roads, monasteries, small cities, etc. But when there's a clear alternative available that also has a huge upside, and I would consider an immediate block with 1 piece a huge upside, and a severe limitation with 3 others as well. This one. Yeah, and it scores you 3 points. Plus, you don't need to invest the meeple. Yeah, still my move. So nicely spotted, Kaika. Very well. And I think from there it was just downhill. I mean, the lime didn't even get the immediate crossroad. I remember this differently, but I think now comes the crossroad, right? Yeah.
I think rather precise move there also from the line, facing the city to the right so that an interruption is less likely to happen.
Yeah. So
if
taking this one would protect their connection square. Yeah, you are right. These are that's the precision you sometimes don't even notice when seeing a game live, but in replay, definitely perfect placement there. And didn't even care about this one, as technically the cities was still alive, although doesn't matter. Just take the most points away. And if you then are able to add even upside to another feature or possible feature of yours, definitely a good move. Very well played by blue indeed. Yeah, but -12, -8, meeple down. this road here. I mean, yellow did what they could in the end, but I think there was not much to do anymore. So either this or this cap could have been the limitation here to the remaining Dorito and horse, which would have not been good enough.
I think yellow can also potentially limit the drawing to just 2 tiles by putting the dagger tile, the dagger tile earlier, and anticipating a Dorito.
Oh yeah, you're right. Like this one.
Mhm.
And going for Dorito up top.
Might be risky because he's just down to he's on his last meeple, right? So not ideal. But he could have done this, let's say if he was to take the 3 points right earlier. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But then if you take the 3 points earlier, then the rose tile will not be there already. So yeah.
No, it would be at the bottom, quite likely.
Yes.
Or on the left side, which would have been a 5-point move for blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quite likely on the left side.
Yeah, this feels like yellow is catching up. I mean, like, it's playing catch up for the entire game, this game. Even though he ran away with the field.
Yeah.
But just after that city at the bottom completed, is this playing catch up the whole way?
Yeah, exactly. And that's precisely why I didn't like that move. It just sets you up to fail in the long run. And I mean, this here wasn't a total block, sure, but the likelihood of you being able to block the city and score a 6-pointer for yourself, which quite likely would end up on your field anyway, is just, I don't know, in the upper 80s or something, maybe 90s. Whereas this move, it doesn't accomplish as much. It's not moving the needle as much. So yeah, I think this was clearly the pivotal moment in this game. Okay, then could still check out one thing in the first if you still have time.
Yeah, let's go. Let's check it out.
I just don't remember what it was, but we'll find out. There was something only. Yeah, we could go to Lime's move here, which was 2 tiles earlier, I think. I mean, it's this was safe, yeah. And then yellow gets one of the few remaining caps to take the 4 points, which is annoying. And then also gets more or less another perfect piece to harass you and take a cap. So yeah, unlikely to happen, but sometimes it still does. So this is the situation where blue immediately, without thinking for more than 2 seconds, at least it appears this way, went for this one. When there are still 4 caps out there, yeah, not very likely to draw one on your next turn, but still better than a 10% chance. And it gets better from there, of course, as tiles are dwindling down. So this here. Well, then your opponent has 11 tiles out of 36. Just a moment. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'll end the sentence then. have to do something for a minute, and then I'll be back. So if your opponent has 11 tiles to immediately block you, so almost a third of the deck, let's say 30%. I mean, yeah, you're down by a lot. Yeah, you need to score a lot of points, and I would get this move with a shielded Dorito for sure. In this case, though, I don't know. I might have waited. I might have not. I mean, it's easy for me to say now, just wait, and it might work out. But I think it's more likely to be successful if you wait. Let's just consider yellow closes their city there, and then you might get something to defend. And you could defend with a lot of tiles, except for how, for example. Even a vanilla could be used in defense. Could snatch this field, and if it works out, if you draw one of two starting tiles there, nice field. Rather easily created.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. So we're taking control of the stream. But just to sort of add on to Wise's opinion to attempt a defense for the meeple, I think it's worth it, given that you're basically giving away what, maximum of 2 or 3 points. Let's say if he uses a shielded tile, so you're losing 3 points there, but you're risking 3 points for the opportunity to get a meeple back. And I think that is worth it. There's still that whole, dropping a farmer play after you defended it and you take back a meeple, right? So yeah, I think this one perhaps a bit of a, I guess, impulsive move, whereby sometimes you play and then you just see that, oh, this is most probably where I'm going to put it, so I'm just going to put it there without really thinking much. Right.
Yeah, so, but this wasn't actually the situation I wanted to check out. But I still don't remember the one that piqued my interest.
Do you want to check out the part whereby we discuss whether yellow should attempt to close up the city? This rune on the right.
Yeah, this was one, but the splitter move in the
Yeah.
end game, this was the one I was most
the
curious
other one.
about.
Okay.
Yeah, but no problem to check out both. Yeah, here the straight where I propose this. Yeah, I mean, there's only one curve left, so the rather conventional double curve liberation doesn't really work that often. So why not go for crossroad there? I mean, do you need the meeple? I don't know. I mean, you could wait for the crossroad and then use the next straight as well. Isn't really that big of a deal and worked out for blue in the end. So yeah, we didn't lot this move. Nice setup from blue. I mean, couldn't have done anything different in this instance to protect the square against a kill from the left side. But setting this up, definitely, why not? Would have taken 2 points, of course, but I think this here has more upside due to the chance to get this meeple back. So nice move.
Was this excessive? curve road.
Yeah, quite frankly, it was excessive, as there were only two pieces. Oh, no, exactly one piece to kill this, and the other one to force a 50-50 there. But both rather unlikely to be used there, given, although at 15 points ahead, yeah, yellow might still have gone for the kill. So now blue's attack. Yeah, so this Dorito, well, I mean, Steven thought 2.5 minutes about this move, I think. So he definitely considered it. Oh, no, stop it. He thought about the first splitter 2.5 minutes. That took longer. Yeah, I still see why he didn't go for this. I think it's totally fine. The problem of the extender still in the deck is there, and he doesn't need to go for moves like that, as the risk of blue taking this one over was still there, quite prominently at that. So why give your opponents a chance to take a big ruin? Why increase it? You don't need to. And if you get the splitters, you can go for the city after all later on. So this one here, yeah, is definitely a nice limitation and reduces the chances for blue to successfully close this city by quite a lot, just due to this, well, diagonal configuration again, which is always leading to problems. Yeah, so I think this was totally fine. And here's the splitter. Yeah. Yeah, yellow's problem is he only has the one meeple in hand and only one piece to get the city closed. With only one big city tile out there, there's not really a problematic outcome there. And even if blue were to add the cow there, no matter which orientation, there are still enough caps in the deck to still close this. So yeah, I get why he did go for points instead of trying to close this city. Again, we've talked about this. Doritos are still there, the cow is still there, the extender is still there, so just go for the points. I think it's fine. Yeah. Blue also just scoring points, leaving this cap open, of course, as you should. He's the one with meeples in hand, yellow doesn't. Yeah, this is also fine. Blue connects, of course. Extender, yep. And we should see the splitter soon. I think this was the situation where you asked about this move. Again, I think my reasoning is still okay. Just score the points. You are more likely to outscore your opponent with these last two moves, few moves. So no need to go for a rather volatile 50-50 shot there. which it wasn't even a 50-50 shot, as Steven is the starting player. Yeah, this here was quite annoying for Steven to not draw one of the caps, but it happens. And here we go. Now we'll get the splitter, right? Yeah, so this is the situation. You're down 2 points and 1 meeple. You won't get any meeples back. Your opponent won't get any meeples back as well, but they have 2 in hand and 2 points. So there is no way to outscore these 2 meeples, even if you have 3 moves against their 2 moves with 2 6-point fields being set up.
There's a monastery as well, which will give more than 6 points in this case for blue. So
Exactly.
you're looking at a range of what, 14 points for blue potential, or 16 points extra, right? Because he already has 2 points on the board, so you have to beat at a maximum 16 points, minimum of 14 points. So
17.
I'm not sure whether my calculation is correct or not, but
no,
it
your
looks very bad.
Your calculation is totally fine. You just have to take into account that Steven is starting player, so a tie doesn't work. So I think the minimum blue would score on this board would be 12 points. So either both fields, or then 13 with the monastery and a field, plus the 2 they already have. So you need to score at least 15 points. So 2 plus 12, then 14, which would be a tie, but a tie doesn't win you the game. You need at least 15 points. Well, this here doesn't score 15 points. It's 10 points now. You add 1, 11, you add the cow, 13. This just does not work. This is a move that doesn't win this game. It can't win the game if your opponent doesn't make mistakes. At least I think. So the one mistake for blue, for example, but it doesn't matter. Even if they go here, yellow could take away this field, so blue can't take this with the monastery, but they wouldn't take it with the monastery anyway. They'd go here, and you need the cow on the right side anyway. So no, this here is a losing move. Yeah, I stand by it. And this here, though, gives you 4 points, sets you up to get another 8 points. Then we are at 12. And in the end, you might get a 6-point field or a monastery, or 18 or 19, which definitely surpasses the points blue could get. And therefore, this here was a must.
You get the 19 points, and blue most probably will get the fields, most probably for another 6 or 9 points. If he gets the monastery, most probably a 9-point field at the bottom. With the trees.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
So, but regardless, I think that's the only way for you to outscore your opponents, because at least in that scenario, you still have a chance to get another farm, which is 6 points, and it should be enough.
So you have the chance, and the problem for blue now is, I mean, yellow only has a chance if blue doesn't get a cap now. Sure. So it's at best a 50-50 shot, at best. The problem for blue is, let's say they get the horse. Yeah, they take the horse and take a 3-point field. And then, well, would they win in this case? I think they would. They would be at +5 and take 7 or 6 points on their last turn. So yellow would still need to score 12 points at least with 2 moves, which is impossible. So, okay, blue would win with the cow, but
You will
if they
hope
get the
for him to get the
monastery,
monastery. Yeah, the monastery.
should they even block this? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Maybe this here is better.
Or do you go for the 6 points in anticipation for the city to be completed because it is very likely to be completed?
Yeah, I'm not even sure blue would need to go for the 6 points. Maybe the 7 points would be more precise. I don't know, but I mean, the details don't really matter now. I will go into detail in a video. I'm pretty sure I just have to find the time. The tabs with scenes to analyze in a video are increasing day by day, stream by stream. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is better than this one.
Well, I mean, I just take the 6 points at the farm at the bottom, right? You're giving away 1 extra point, but your opponent closes that, you get another 3 points. So would that be sufficient?
Yeah, it still isn't, because
your opponent can also get 9 points.
Yeah.
With, let's say, if he gets the right hand dagger. So if he closes it with the left hand dagger and then gets the right hand dagger, whereas your run out is a triple city and also the monastery. But I think it's very difficult to catch up for yellow either way, right?
It's not different at all. They just need to close the city and on their last turn score 6 points somewhere. It doesn't matter where, actually. Then they are at 4 + 8 + 6, which is 18. And stop a moment. So 4, what is city? 8 is 12 + 6 is 18.
Yeah, 18.
-2, 16.
Yeah. So blue has a 9-point move and a 6-point move, 15. So yeah, yellow would win.
Yeah. Yeah, and this takes into account that blue would need to take this field there. And I don't see a way for blue to take these 9 points and prevent yellow from scoring a 6-point field in the end, due to 3 being available. Yeah, looks to me like this here then might be the better move for blue, considering they won't win this way. So they need to prevent yellow from taking this. And the monastery on the left would reduce yellow's chances to 1 out of 3 instead of 2 out of 3. And therefore, this would be the better move with a farmer, of course, even though it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Okay, this was the one question I had, and it's answered for now, I think. And everything else doesn't then matter anymore. Just this here is definitely a losing move. Even so, it's just barely a losing move. It's a losing move in 100% of the cases, and that's what matters. Okay, then. Still anything you'd like to check? I don't think so, right?
No.
Okay, then let's take a quick look at today's upcoming games at 13 UTC. There will be these two. I will take a look at Foam Kithara might peak as Vega Orion, Dr. Zaihan as well. Depending on the timing, I might be able to cover Loose Goose versus Bobondi as well. Nallerheim Phosphate will be covered by Alexi, and he'll continue with Idinidad, Nice Dice, and Rodas BDDL1. And as the match between Nallerheim and Phosphate might very well extend to 60 plus minutes, I'll cover Posey Tomaszek 1. So this is another Q1 final. And tomorrow we'll see someone will cover Bluested MTU, and there are still other games not scheduled yet. So that's it from me and Kaika. Thanks again to Kaika. Always nice to have you on as co-host. Hope to see you soon. And that's it then. Bye, folks. See you later.